Hey folks, AJ the CEO, and we are back. This is the follow-up to the video I literally just posted of me doing the work over at St. James Baptist Church down the street from Antioch. And pretty much after the conversation, if you watch that video, this is literally the follow-up of that. They pretty much liked the stuff that I did, and they asked me a few questions about their network and a bunch of other things. And then it led into another conversation. Then it led into another conversation. And ultimately, they wanted me to kind of give an estimate, a bid or whatever for fixing their network, but also kind of doing their new building. So, you know how I do it. I'm just going to do this as a on-site and kind of a design type of thing. And, you know, if they decide to go with me, yay. If not, hopefully this will help them out. Now, this is going to be a big one because, again, they're renovating the sanctuary, but then also building an administration wing. So what I want to do is kind of give them the whole shebang, and then they can pick from whatever that they want to. So let's go ahead and cut over to my computer here, and I'm actually going to hold on. Let's do this backwards. I'm actually going to start with the floor plan that I took while I was there at the church. So this was actually on the wall. So this already exists. I think this is the part that is going to be built, I believe. This is the sanctuary that I was in where they're going to renovate this. So pretty much from here over, I believe, is all going to be new stuff. And then we're just going to be doing a lot of stuff in here. So I'm going to be referencing this a lot, because if you saw in that video, there's like I don't know what it is. Last couple of churches I've been going to that have had internet by different providers. The provider all the way from North Carolina up to Chicago, a lot of these internet providers are lying to churches and tell them that they need multiple routers, multiple internet connections to provide for the entire building. And that is nowhere close to being true. All you need is one, and then you need a certain type of distribution, run cables, run switches. That's like what we did in Chicago and all this other stuff. So in this example, I'm going to see if I can import this, and we're going to be playing around with Unified Design. This is design.ui.com. And first off, we're going to be building this to where first we're going to get rid of all of these extra routers. You only need one. You only need to pay for one internet service coming in, and then we'll do distribution so that all of this stuff will get internet from that one connection. So we're going to be referencing back. And like I said, I'm going to throw the whole shebang in this thing. Again, I like to just do everything, and then they can always cut back if they don't want to do that. So build it in minutes. I don't want to do, maybe I'll do a school. I wish they would have a church type of template, but no. I'm going to do something new. I don't like that. So let's do this. St. James Baptist Church. And we're going to do other. So let's see. Can I use this picture? It's not exactly a blueprint, but we can leverage it to put over top of it so we can start putting icons and everything like that in the places where we want. All right. Let's go full screen. Let's set the scale. This is 19 feet. So I'm going to come in here and set this mark right there. And that is 19 feet. All right. So that's going to give us a good gauge of how everything is going to be done. So, again, this is a lot. I'm only going to focus on the network right now. We're going to build out, they need, a server room. So I think the media room where I was, that's probably going to be the dedicated server room, because the media room is now going to be moved up on a balcony or a second floor in the sanctuary. So let's do a rack cabinet. We're going to put that in there. And I don't like this layout. I wanted it to be, no, I don't want to remove the items there. I was looking for the Ooh, nah, they added way too much. Hold on, let's just do this from the beginning again. My apologies. All right, so let's gonna play some hardware and let's start. We're gonna start off with a UDM Pro, a Dream Machine Pro. That is gonna live inside the server room right here, and we're kind of gonna do the same thing like we talked about. Probably gonna start off with a 48 port switch, PoE switch. We don't need to do the Pro Max. Trying to think. I want one that provides enough power, so I think that is the 48. That's not the Gen 1. Not that one, because we want the, yeah, I guess it is the Pro Max. It was another one. This one provides 720 watts of power, so that'll be more than enough for everything. We'll set that in here. This will be linked to a 10 gigabit backbone, so now that's going to provide all the stuff that we need right there. Now, they also have the administration wing I don't have to worry about because we can run all the cables here because this is going to be remodeled, so it's just going to be wide open, so it'll be easy to do. But they also have like a child development center over here that we need to get over this way. So what I'm probably going to do over there is put a 24 port PoE switch over there and need to find a good placement for that. It might be storage or something like that. Oh, they got a mechanical room, so we'll put it over here. All right, so that is going to be bridged through a armored fiber optic cable that would give that another 10 gigabit connection on that side. What else? We don't need to worry about running stuff over here, but we are probably going to put another 24 port over here in the social hall. And what's a good location for that? Not the entry, probably storage for right now. We'll probably put it up here. Now there is a second floor up here, but we'll go from there. All right, so now let's go with some more equipment inside of here. We're gonna repurpose the access point that we just did because I mean it's gonna work perfectly fine. I'm gonna stick with the 6 Pros right now and not go to the 7s because I think that's more than enough to what they need. And, you know, we're trying to stay within reason of price. In here, that will probably relocate that to the center. So that will cover everything. That'll be the Pro. And as you can see, that Pro can cover everything. Probably put another Pro in the child development area. We can also probably put that pretty close to that switch. So maybe right here near this entry or to right here because this is the old sanctuary. Let's just put it right here for right now. Nah, I want to put it right in the center so that way it should have a good reading from there. Or you know what we could do, we could just put 2 U6 Pros, or maybe we can go with the 7s. They're the lights because they're cheaper than that one. We just put 2 in there and that would cover all the Wi-Fi in here. Let's put another 6 in the hallway of the administration wing, probably closer to the main lobby because that will still cover that area. Maybe about right here. And then we'll put another one inside of the social hall. So that should give more than enough Wi-Fi for all of this stuff. And again, this is the backbone. We'll go to the closest connection that's there so we don't have to run all over the place. So it's saying that the majority of the church will be good for our Wi-Fi. In worst case, we could add another one here in the back near pastor's office or just slide it back just a little bit, and then we'll have that area. Now, the other thing that they said they're going to do, they want to have TVs here for the entrance of the sanctuary, and there's a bunch of other computers inside of this. So what we're going to do is, let's see. Yeah, we'll do some network jacks. We're going to put this in every single room, and I want to count this off to make sure we have enough switches. So for each place, we'll put one in pastor's office, flanking the walls, and this meeting room, deacon's office, another office here, a finance office, the copier room, the admin office. We'll do 2 there. So no switches on the floor. We'll actually put jacks there. And I need to zoom in so I can see a little bit better on each part of the room. The choir room, rehearsal room, put one right there. The deacon's office, we put on flanking walls here. And that could always be moved if need be. And probably put, I don't think another one will be needed in the choir room. The admin office, definitely. Ministerial office, definitely. We'll put 2 in that office. The finance office, we'll put 2 as well. Flanking on the walls. Put 1 in the conference room. Deaconess office, again, we'll put 2 in there as well, too. And because it's right in this wall, they can be shared. So you run 4 cables down the wall, go to one room, the other one goes to the other one. Let's see, where else we got? Probably don't want to put that on the bathroom wall. Those are cabinets and storage, so this one might go here. And I have no idea where pastor's desk and everything is going to be. So probably have the desk so the windows are to his back. So probably one right there. And one right here. All right. So, and again, I like the design studio because it will actually build out all of this stuff in a list. Don't need one in the bathroom, but probably a speaker will probably go well in the bathroom. Another network jack. We'll put one flanking either entry right there. Now, this isn't going to be the same type of network stuff, but they're going to have digital walls here. So some jacks that would be right there, as well as one in the back. So it's actually going to live right here. Now, the same way we're doing this, we're all thinking about adding security cameras inside the sanctuary as well, too. So if I was doing this, and let's do one over here for the entry. So if they want to do, well, actually, we'll do door access there. So never mind. Don't need one there. Don't need one for the ramp. Probably need another jacks right here if they decide to do a TV out here to see what's going on in the sanctuary, or you can use that as using the Unify cast light, so you can use that as digital signage. Inside the classrooms here, now we're into the youth and the child development center. They have computers in each one, and I believe there's already connections here. So I'm just placing them. I don't believe they're needed, but we'll place them there anyway. They do have door access already set up, so we might integrate that as well. That's not needed. Probably want to put a couple of jacks here, I guess in the old chapel. And I'm just going to place them in these locations. Don't know if they're going to be needed like that, but, you know, it's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. All right, so that's on that side. Now, let's go into the social room. Put one on the platform either side. One in the kitchen. Probably one in the entry. And then we want to sporadically have these throughout if need be on the walls here. So right here, right here. I want to kind of put them on some of the flat surfaces, so if computers or anything like that, that one access point is going to be able to cover the entire area. So we got a lot of network jacks everywhere. Now, again, I told y'all we were going to do this like the full shebang. We're going to do everything in here. Not that they would go with that, but again, I'm doing this just to give them as an option. So what's the next thing? We worked through our switching, and we're going to come back because it's going to show us where this stuff is to show what's needed. And they normally have a rack layout. So we got our ports in here so far. I think we may have exhausted some of the stuff, but we'll get into that. And we got to show how we connect all this stuff as well too. Auto draw cable connections. We got all of that there. I have no idea. Oh, I pressed this. I was like, why is that cable going all the way out here? As well as this one. All right, so it gave us our connections already. And I want to see how they have a lot of this stuff connected, because me personally, what I would do is replace this with fiber. And as you can see, it's showing how everything is connected for the Dream Machine. I don't know why in the world they're connecting this stuff directly to the Dream Machine. But it looks like just from the ports, we have blown out all 48 ports for the switch that's going to be in the sanctuary. So we'll probably go with 2 of those now. So let's add another 48 port switch. Actually, let's just duplicate this. And auto draw our connections here. All right, so I think we are good. As you can see, we're definitely running out of space. Go to our ports. And again, I want to change some of this because, like I said, I'm not going to plug anything directly into the UDM Pro. I'm going to have those connected over SFP. Oh, I duplicated the UDM Pro. That's the reason why I was working. Hold on. Let me fix that real quick. Get rid of that. We're going to take that. Switch. That's what we needed. So now we should make our cables a little bit easier. All right. So if we go here, I still don't know why in the world they're doing that. But we got another 48 port here that's connected, and I need to go through. I'm going to change how this is connected. But anyway, let's go back here. So that's our network. We got our Wi-Fi beyond covered. So now the next thing, let's go to some security cameras. Let's go with putting some cameras on the outside. We'll do some bullet cameras. We'll go with the G5s because they'll be fine in the area. So parking lot over here. There's an entry right here. We want to cover every entry point and every blind spot. And again, I'd rather go overboard on this. And I wish there was a way I can turn off some of the stuff because it's getting a little difficult to see. We got some doors right here, right there, here, here. There. And for the corners here, because that will look, and I'll change which angle they're looking at. Here, there. corner. We'll be able to look back on the courtyard right there. Each one in the corners of the building. Something like that. So let's address these. What direction is this camera gonna look? Right here. Like I said, I got too much stuff on here, so I can't adjust it the way I want to. So this is gonna look in this direction. Come on now, right there, thank you. This one will look back this direction, same way. And again, some of these might be overkill because they're overlapping where they're looking at. Come on now. This will look back in this direction because we don't want a blind spot right here. This one is looking back this direction. So that door and anybody comes in this way. Have this one look back in this direction. Need another camera right here because there is a door right there. There. So we'll be able to look back in this direction here, here, and pretty much all the directions. Want to cover the entire building to avoid any type of, nobody can just, you'll be covered in the camera somewhere if you come on the grounds in any way, shape, or form in here. All right, I'm not going to do all of the images right now because that's going to take a minute. But we got that. Now, I wish I had actually gone through and did some other stuff too. I might have to do this as a second drawing because we want to do stuff on the inside as well too. Now, can we get rid of the filters so that I don't want to see the lines right now. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to delete a lot of this stuff because it's in the way. Let's get rid of device names. There we go. That's what I needed. Ability. All right, so that should be a little bit easier for us to see. Now, let's go back to some devices as well too. We already did camera, door access. This would be kind of like the same way. We could go with the big readers. I don't think those are going to be needed, but for main entry. So I could see this being the entry for like the learning center. They already have one, but if you're going with the system, it could be replaced. So I would say the main entries for there's administrators and stuff like that. So maybe that door, and that one. Because I don't think anybody's going to be coming into the main lobby like that. They'll be coming into the main stuff. With this, especially running all of this, I would probably go with the access hub. We can have that live inside of that server room. And that handles 8 doors. So let's count them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we're thinking about like locking down every single door so that, say, you know, God forbid something happens, you can lock somebody in just a chapel so kids can't get in or out. No one can get in or out, and you can do them in zones. So boom, here's a zone. This is a zone. The sanctuary is a zone. The lobby is the zone. The administration wing is a zone. The main lobby is a zone. The social room is a zone. So you can lock that down. So I would probably put, so in total, that's what? 1. Well, in the sanctuary, you got 1, 2, 3 doors, 4, 5, 5 doors for here. So that enterprise one will probably just do the sanctuary, and then have another one for the wing over here. So that would cover just the main entry door. So pastor's door, the one that comes into the hallway, into the administration wing, the 2 doors here. So that's 4 right there. So that could lock that down right there. And then we still got 4 more doors if need be. So another one could be for the finance office, anything like that. So that won't be good. Another one over here for the social room. And then might as well just put another one over here for the learning center, or the development center, excuse me. What else? I'm thinking about readers or whatever so that people can scan in. Those are going to be for all the other doors. So that's going to be overkill. I don't need to necessarily do that, but we can put those on the doors here so that if you have a key fob, that'll allow you to come in. But at the same time, if you have a key, it'll just let you function that same way as well, too, because those keys already exist. We're not looking at trying to change out doors and everything like that. We will give Pastor one right here so he can get in that way. And I think for the most part, we got everything done from there. So I might be missing that, but we're good from that. Now for a phone system, I believe in, if they do that, especially with the intercoms and the door access, they could use the touch phones, and then boom, they're good. So we'll put a phone in each area. There, the office, kitchen, maybe one for each of the offices in there. One in the media room that's going to be upstairs. The welcome desk. Each one of the offices here. Pastor's office, definitely. And maybe one in the conference room. And then kitchen over here. And I don't know. Another one in here somewhere. I don't know. I'll just put this one over here for right now. We'll put an analog one for the copier machine. So if they're doing faxes or anything, that will work. And I think that's it. So now for integrations, like I said, we can do the Cast Lite, or I might even do the Cast Pro, because that would be a hardline connection, Ethernet connection that will go in. So let's do that. We'll put one right here for each one of the jacks. Put one over here. And then let me go back, because for the security, I want to do the viewport. Now would be like in a room or something over here for security. So I don't know. I'm just going to put that at the welcome desk right now, and one other place so you can see all the security cameras. I'll put that in pastor's office right now. All right, back to our integrations. We got those. We're also going to give them a cable modem so that they're not renting it from Comcast anymore, and that one is applicable for that. Our power distribution in there, so that will be controlled, kind of like that's Unifi's version of the Casaplex that I use as well too. I don't believe I need a power backup like that, but might as well, because that would be redundant power for everything. The doors, the cameras, everything like that. All right, so I believe that's it for the integrations. Network storage, maybe a NAS so they can have a centralized stuff. I don't know if they have any storage for there. You probably will want to do that. I would probably use the Unify NAS, or I would go with a Synology, whichever one comes out cheaper right now. So that would be the distribution for all of the logs, files, everything that are being managed by the church, or that can be relocated inside the finance office, anything like that. And accessories. Again, we don't have to do any of that. I think we have done all of the stuff that needs to be there. So if we do our auto draw our connections and everything, it should tell us if we need some more cabling and stuff like that. All right, we're not able to automatically connect your floor. Go to devices to add. So let's look at our ports. Did we use up everything? That's that. The access hub. So I think all right, sorry, I had some scam people call me. So let's go back. We might need one more 48 port switch. Let's duplicate that. So this is probably, we're looking at maybe like a 22, 24 U rack. Let's auto draw those again. All right, so now everything is connected. And again, like I said, I would connect this a different way. I'm not going to have anything connected here. Switch 1, switch 2. So what I would do inside of this, let me go back. Because of that, I would actually add an aggregation switch. That's what I'm looking at doing at First United Methodist. So that would be the 10 gigabit backbone for all of this. So now, can we auto draw those now? Let's see how those were put together. I don't understand why it does that. So anyway, all of these switches are going to be connected over to this to fiber, and then we're not using any of these connections back to anything like that. So we're good. So 83 devices so far with all of that stuff. That would split up a lot of this stuff for them. That would get the whole system done. That would give them their phones. That would give them their network. That would have Wi-Fi throughout the entire building, security cameras throughout the whole thing, voice over IP phones, network jacks in every office, digital signage, plenty of, probably one more thing that will probably be added is another switch that will go upstairs for the media room, since they don't have space for that right now. If I find another switch, so this other 48, it's enough connections that can be ran, maybe like another 10 to 16 dedicated lines that just go straight up above the server room into the media room, media booth, and that would give them everything that needs to be connected to that. And I think that would give them full access to everything. If we went with this, this would be the biggest install that we've done. But that would be my suggestion for something like this. Now, I didn't even cover any of the networking stuff because, you know what, we might as well do that as well too. So they're looking at also bringing on and upgrading their stuff, as in their video thing. I'm struggling to say what I was trying to say. They're also trying to update their media that's being produced and handled inside the sanctuary. So what I would also do in all those other offices as well too as TVs, I would also probably run a SDI cable to each one of those locations, or maybe even go with the IP, what's that new IP network one that Blackmagic is using? That way it could be, I don't know what the converters are costing for that. But let me see. Let me bring this over here for y'all. So the idea is they're using the A10 Mini Pro, especially if they're going with digital walls and all this other stuff. I'm not even looking at any of these. I'm looking at getting them a constellation, so that would give them more outputs and all this other fun stuff like that. Maybe the Constellation 2ME 4K. Not that I would do it for 4K, but I mean, it's already there. So if we look on the back of maybe even the Constellation HD, but I don't know. Just looking at that, what we mainly want to do is see it has 20 inputs and then it has a total of 12 outputs. So that would allow it to have multi-view, and you can send this video signal to the TV outside in the front. So instead of those digital signage ones, you could have a connection go directly there and put them on some presentation software so that it's actually doing announcements there, a bunch of things. So that's my thought of this, but let's see what other video switches, because they have the IP61 or whatever it's called. I have not messed with that yet, and I don't see it on here. So well, we'll just stick with that. Yeah, that's the Ethernet switch. I don't think we're going to go into that yet. I think we'll stick with SDI for right now. So in this scenario, what we're going to do is do an 8M 4ME, no, 2ME, excuse me. And that would give us 20 inputs, 12 outputs. All right. So that would be that. And because they're using Restream, what I would suggest is a mini PC is all you would really need. And I'm actually going to do a video on turning one of these mini PCs into your own kind of like Restream alternative, so that you can stream to it and then it will multicast, multi-stream to other things. So be on the lookout for that video. So that would be this system. And I'll just say OBS for right now. And I'll just say streaming PC. So the output of this over SDI, that'll be SDI out number 1. That will go into here, and then we would do 4 cameras. So if I bring this back over, we would do 4 cameras. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in the front right there. But we got more than enough room if we wanted to do more, right? So let's shrink this down a little bit. That'll be 1. Our 4 cameras. So that'll be back, front, left, and right. Those will come in over SDI into the ATEM. And again, I'm sticking with the ATEM because that's what they're already using, and the concept is going to be the same. Now, I will go with a micro panel for them. That would give them the same control that they're used to with the ATEM Mini Pro, and might as well. I mean, I use it, and I think it'll work well for them. All right. So we got that. Now, they're going to have 2 digital walls. So I'm just going to use this as, why did you do that? We're going to use that to simulate our digital wall in the front. Actually, I don't like that. Let's use this one instead. So that'll be left LED wall. I don't need to make this that big. And I'll say this is the right LED wall. So with that, they're going to have a processing unit. Most likely it will be 2 of them. Or you could duplicate it, but left processor. And this would be the right processor. And then because we have our 12 outs, that's out number 1. We have out number 2. So in this setup, both of the digital walls could be treated independently, and they could do something completely different if you wanted to, which is kind of cool. Or not, you can just have them mirror the same thing. It doesn't really matter. All right, and then we have some We have a back screen. I'm personally suggesting to them to do a smaller LED wall because of how big the sanctuary is. It'll be easy to see. But I'll just say back display so that could be whatever. All right, so that will come here over Ethernet. That will go over here over Ethernet. Let's move this over here. All right. And then it all depends on how this goes. This will route into that display as well too. So that would be SDI out number 3. So that can be a dedicated confidence monitor stage display if you want it to. Actually, I had my name wrong. This is SDI out 4. I want to get a total of this. So this is SDI input 1, SDI input 2, SDI input 3, then SDI input 4. All right, so we still got 16 more inputs in here. So let's go ahead and get them a dedicated, instead of a laptop, we'll get them a dedicated presentation PC, probably do ProPresenter on this for them, and we'll give them multiple inputs. So we'll probably use a Decklink Duo inside that. So we would have multiple outs. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, and let's make this a little bit bigger so we can actually have a 4th input. I thought it was going to give me another connection. All right, we need 4 inputs. I'll do it that way. So in this scenario, we'll have the audience output. So that will be the one that shows directly to the LED walls. Then we'll have a stage or the confidence monitor that goes in the back. That can be one. Then we have a dedicated ATEM or lower thirds configuration. So no matter what, the sanctuary can have the full screen, but everybody online can have it in a lower third that makes it easier for everybody else to see. And then this 4th one could be, I don't know, announcements or whatever. Let's actually not use that 4th one for right now, but we do have another one available if need be. All right. All of that outputs will go to the streaming PC that can go to multiple locations. So they can go Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever they want. And they could easily, how did all my displays get messed up? Hold on. All right, there we go. So that would allow them to do all this other stuff and maybe even add, I mean, the streaming PC could be used to monitor comments and all this other stuff too. So, but we are able to consolidate all of this. And then, you know, I think they're going with a new mixer as well too. So that'll be an audio mixer here. And in this scenario, obviously we're bringing in audio directly into that. The computer audio from the presentation system will come into the mixer so they can be mixed. And then with the ATEM 2ME, you have 2 mixers. So you got one that can be just for the house and then the other one that could be dedicated for the live stream. So you can do both. And then we still have other outs. So we still have another what's that? Another 8 outputs. So the outputs can go to any other televisions that are throughout the church, and that will set them up for the future. So if they went with a switcher like this, they could put this in place right now with the switcher and the streaming PC and then the micro panel. And then they could actually use everything that they're using right now. And then if they want to upgrade, or when they do the renovations, they can just take this out and it goes right back, and they're not wasting any money going into what they're doing. Propose getting 4 new PTZ cameras for them at a higher quality, probably some AI tracking ones that will match the interior of the sanctuary and stuff like that. And then the LED walls. And I think that would be a great revision to what they're doing. And the fact that we built out their infrastructure, I think that would work really, really well for them. Also, what I'm going to do is, because they wanted me to write this up, but they wanted me to write it up in a phase approach, because the development center, the child development center, they needed this stuff. So when I do all of this, I'm going to break this apart into phases of what can be done right now, but it's also a part of the whole. So, if we ever get the contract with this, I'll bring you along. But again, I just want to say thank you again, St. James, for just giving me the opportunity to fix y'all's internet and other stuff, and then allowing me to even just write in and give you a proposal or a bid for your new sanctuary and the revisions and all the stuff that you're going to do. And hopefully have somebody there that, they said I'm right up the street for them, which really I am, be able to help them out. Because I've been doing this. I've been seeing so many churches that are getting railroaded and getting sold a bunch of stuff that they don't really do, or just having other people that they can easily reach out to if they have any type of technical issues. And that's the reason why we do what we do. Anyway, folks, I'm nowhere close going to link a list of everything that's in here, because it's like over 100 things inside of this. I'm not going to do that. But all the stuff is on Blackmagic or B&H Photo or Ubiquity's website for everything. But you can use this as a reference. And hopefully, if you're looking at building a new sanctuary, revising, the reason I do these videos is not just for you to hire me, but it's to show you the mindset that goes behind it. Not just somebody who installs the stuff, but somebody who actually runs media, who is also in music ministry, also has an IT background of like, hey, this is how all this stuff comes together, and can help you with your ministry, help share the gospel, but then again, keeps you on the cutting edge and gets you what you need for what you're doing right now and growing into the future. But I think that's about it. So if you ever needed help, you can go to ajhomes.com/consultations. You can set up a consultations, phone, Zoom, Meet, Onsite, whichever, to help you modernize your media ministry and get your questions answered. So if you like this type of content, appreciate the like, consider subscribing, hit that bell, the way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Catch you on the next video. Later.